I refuse to participate in a recession. To restart is to reset, reopen, reboot, relaunch. This is the right mindset. Be a beacon of hope in a sea of fear. Thank yous make a difference.
Thank you. Правда. Ачу. Спасибо. Dankeschön.
Welcome everybody to the BNI Canada conference, and what an absolute pleasure it is to be here. And we are your MCs for the 2 days. My name is Mark Graber. I'm the Executive Director for British Columbia, and my co-host is
François Garon, Executive Director from BNI Quebec LLL Region. Bienvenue à tous nos francophones du monde entier pour cette conférence BNI nationale du Canada.
And we have over 200 participants on the call today, and fantastic to be here. There is simultaneous French translation available to Francophiles, and it's great to have you here. And let's begin straight away, Francois, with the introduction, of course, of our National Director, Mr. Kai Bjorn.
Thank you. Greg, for the PowerPoint, please. Bienvenue tout le monde à la 26e conférence nationale BNI au Canada. Welcome, everybody, to our 26th anniversary conference. What an exciting time. It's beautiful to have people coast to coast. We're from around the country and we're across the pond. It's been a while since we've been able to get together like this, and so I relish it every time we have an opportunity to network and be together. Next slide, Greg, please. So thank you so much. As you see, as you enter into the conference, you see lots of flash, you see lots of exciting breakout sessions, you see amazing keynote speakers that are coming up. This doesn't just happen, it's built. And so I want to give a big shout out to BNI Alberta South team, specifically Greg, Lloyd, Barbara, Francois, Moji, and Deli. Amazing work, guys. I'm excited for this conference, and I know how much effort you put into it. So we all appreciate you unequivocally. Just look at the handout, right? Get online, go get the manual. This is exciting when you have such a professional effort. It leads to a professional conference. Next slide, please. Our MCs, Mark Graber, François Garon, two long-standing BNI lifers. I couldn't think of two better people to helm this conference. So thank you, guys. There's work that goes into it, and we appreciate the fact that you're prepared, and that you're going to guide us through. Next slide. Guide us through the next 2 days. So today's our member and guest day, and we are excited to have everyone. We had over 700 registrations last night. They were flying in this morning. We're hopefully pulling over the 1,000 mark, which will be a benchmark for us. And so we're excited. Tomorrow is our support day for our support team, but it's open to anyone who wants to come. We're very inclusive, and we always want to look at recruiting new people. And if you have an interest in participating tomorrow to learn how you can understand BNI just a little bit better, grab the link, come and join us, and we'd love to see you. And then tomorrow night, Frankie G, that's Francois' code name, is doing our celebration. It's important that we honor and celebrate all the achievements that we've had. And so thank you, Francois, for putting the effort in. And we can't wait to have fun and party. Next slide. Came up with a bit of an acronym that I loved. Prepare mentally or physically for some experience or action. That's what it is to be ready. And so next slide. R for reflect. Think about where we were. This time last year, man, it was an uncomfortable situation, a lot of unknown. Think of where we are today, right? We've accomplished a lot. We kept the lights on thanks to all you guys. Thanks to everybody for participating, having the resolve and the want to continue to stay connected. So when I reflect now, I'm looking forward. We still have some problematic scenarios in front of us, but man, we stayed together and we're ready to have some fun and we're ready to drive forward and be even greater than we are. Next slide. E, energy. Keep the energy up. It's tough to stay focused. We're all zoomed out. But if we can focus our energy and have a balance, BNI has allowed us to do that. Focus some energy in our group, in our relationships. And so we need to make sure we keep our energy high. And it's very easy here on this part of the world, this part of the globe, because summer's coming. And so we have beautiful weather and sunshine. So keep the energy up. Next slide. A, audit. Take stock. We talked about the new normal. Well, the new normal is coming. We've had a lot of iterations. We've had a lot of change. And so we just have new tools in our toolbox. So what an exciting time for us. Looking forward, we've perfected online. It works. We've done great. We're going to keep using that for a whole plethora of different ways to empower ourselves as a community. But moving forward, the new normal is going to be there. And so we need to have an audit and just make sure that we're ready for it and we're prepared for it. And then we take advantage of it. Next slide. This is my favorite. It's diversity. We have such a diverse community. It would be boring if it was just me and everyone liked me. The fact that we have so many different relationships, so many different backgrounds, so many different perspectives, that's powerful. And so we need to relish the diversity we have and continue to push it forward because that makes us stronger. Next slide. The U or the Y for you. It's all about you continuing to learn. You know, when we think about us, you, BNI never stopped. We have so many new iterations of product, so many new iterations of tools, systems, processes, and other to help guide us forward. It's important for you to take advantage of that. It's important for you to keep going, learning, and adapting these new tools to make us even better. As you're going to hear from Robert Skrob, BNI is such a fantastic tool. You just plug your business into it and it works. And it's the effort and engagement that makes it so great. And so it's all about you and your effort, but it's all about you for keeping us going. When this stuff happened, you kept our lights on. You enabled us to foster and do business and stay connected. And for that, I appreciate every one of you. My name is Kai Bjorn. I am the extremely proud National Director for BNI in Canada. And I look forward to a fantastic conference with everybody. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to learn, pull a couple things out, and then go and apply it to your chapter. Hashtag BNICanada, hashtag BNI 2021. Let's push out some social media. Let's get some exposure and let's have some fun. Thank you very much for the few minutes you gave me. Cheers.
Thank you so much, Kai. Thank you for these words of wisdom and kick things off for our national conference. So this was our National Director, Kai Bjorn. Very happy to have you with us today. Just a couple of quick notes. Our guests, special guest today, we're going to hear, as you've heard, from Mr. Robert Skrob, marketing expert and co-author of the Connector Effect, BNI's latest book. We'll have special video appearances by Dr. Ivan Meisner and Graham Weinmiller, the CEO of BNI. You'll hear from our national director, well, you have, and we're now going to let you hear from our hosts of this event from South Alberta. We have Moji and Deli Agili.
Thank you, Francois, and a big welcome to everyone again and thank you for being here with us. On behalf of Delia and myself, I just want to say a giant welcome to Southern Alberta. Even though you are not here in person, we feel the energy of your spirit. I wanted to share this image because these were, believe it or not, images from our gala in 2020. Would you believe we had an event like this in February of 2020? This was just before the lockdown began. And I share this because hope is rising. We know that in Calgary, for example, we're preparing for the Stampede. So if you feel so inclined, please, you are most welcome to join us for the greatest outdoor show on earth, working towards very hard toward a reopening and returning into business, which is why I am so excited about this conference and the fact that we are at the start line much sooner so that we can actually accelerate our businesses, and as soon as things get going, we will be ready to go. On behalf of BNI Alberta South, all of our members and our regional teams, we want to take this time to thank our National Director of BNI for BNICanada, Mr. Kai Bion, and all of our co-executive directors and regional teams from around Canada for recognizing us as the top large region and giversgain award winner for 2020. We have definitely relished that recognition and look forward to handing that over to whichever region will be winning that this year. But just wanted to acknowledge and thank you for that recognition from last year. Again, on behalf of the region, just like Kai has done, again, we can never be too grateful. Very huge thank you to our MCs, our speakers. We have an amazing lineup of speakers from all over the world joining us and helping us to bring value to you. So really make sure that you avail yourself of that opportunity. A huge thank you to our sponsors. You're going to be hearing from them shortly. And I especially wanted to highlight two members of our team, Ariel and Rachel. They are working with us. They're PR students from Mount Royal. They just went straight to work and have done a lot of the PR around the conference, and they're half the reason why you all are here today. They make us all look good, and they've done a lot of the heavy lifting in the background. So Ariel and Rachel, I just wanted to say we truly appreciate you. On behalf of Dilly and myself, thank you. As we move on, I just wanted to say real quick, if you asked me, actually it was about 10 years ago on the 1st of March when Dilly and I, with fear and trepidation, signed the dotted lines to become the executive directors for BNI in Southern Alberta. We had 70 members at the time, but hey, we were little but mighty. And it's been 10 years. And as we have looked back, we noticed that our members, that little group of people together over that period of time, we have grown from 70 members to over 540 members today. We've passed 168,000 referrals, hosted over 21,000 people to BNI in Southern Alberta alone, generated $162 million worth of business, resulting in over $1 billion worth of economic impact. That is just this little region. Now multiply that across and think, what has BNICanada done in that period? But I say that to say, this is what I would have said to you a year ago if you asked me what BNI is. Today, as I look back over 15 months of the pandemic, I see members who have become a tight community, members who have supported each other through thick and thin, members who have truly become, in the words of one of our members, more like family than like business associates. So I just want to really ask you to rethink, as you spend time with us today, learning what it is that the different speakers will be sharing with you. How will this impact your community in the long run? Remembering that whatever it is that we do as BNI goes a long, long way beyond just the individual that we're referring business to. It goes to impacting their families, helping put food on the table, helping build our communities, and making us a lot stronger people than we would otherwise be by ourselves. So welcome again, and thank you for being here. Much appreciated. Over to you, Francois and Mark.
Thank you so much, Moji. It is now time for
Wow.
Mark to
amazing.
our sponsors.
Yeah,
it is
amazing,
awesome, isn't it?
Amazing results. Great to hear the stories, and
Absolutely.
fantastic. And what an absolute role model for women in BNI, Moji is, and I applaud you in the region and the work that you do. It's absolutely fantastic. Of course, Sponsors are extremely important to this, and I want to shout out our 5 sponsors for the conference. First of all, I want to thank Real Recruitment, Lloyd Hamshaw. Thank you very much. To, of course, the imagestop.com, which is Mr. Greg T. Of course, fantastic work that he does, and you'll see all of our sponsors across the top on the main banner head. To CrowdX, to Kodachrome Travel, and to Stigma Well. Thank you so much, very much for supporting the conference. And please, if you are on the call today, representatives of those groups, please put your contacts or details into the chat so that we can share that around. So shout out and thank you on behalf of all of the people with us today. Over to you, Francois, to introduce our next speaker.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mark, and so important, the sponsor. So we're at a point now we're going to hear a few words first from our founder and chief visionary officer. We have a little bit of a video clip from Dr. Ivan Meisner.
Hi, this is Dr. Ivan Meisner, founder of BNI, and this is a special message for BNICanada. I want to congratulate you on your 26th BNI Canadian conference. And I love the theme for this conference, Accelerate. I believe we have gone from the great pause. I like to call it the great pause. I think words matter. And quarantine, lockdown, very negative. I think we have gone from the great pause to the great acceleration. So I love this concept of this theme of accelerate, because I think it fits where we are as a global organization. This is the time for the great acceleration, to reignite our businesses. You know, today more than ever, you need your network. Today more than ever, you need BNI. BNI is a force multiplier in building one's business. And I have seen over the last year and several months that people either get frozen in fear or they get focused by fear. And those businesses that have gotten focused by these challenging times that we have are the ones that have been successful. Now, in a BNI context, this means that you need to accelerate your engagement in BNI. For example, one-to-ones. One-to-ones, there's a direct and dramatic linear correlation between doing one-to-ones and giving and getting more referrals. If you do a search on one-to-ones on BNI podcast, you'll find a study that was done at a university in Europe about BNI groups, and they found that members who did one-to-one a month compared to members who did 4 one-to-ones a month. In other words, one a week versus one a month. That the people who did one-to-one a week gave 100% more referrals, double the number of referrals. But here's the incredible thing: they received double the number of referrals. So if you want to do one thing that will increase the referrals you give and increase the referrals you receive, do one-to-ones. This is the kind of engagement that if you accelerate in the organization, you're going to be more successful. I really believe that BNI is a beacon of hope in a sea of fear. And it's a beacon of hope because of our principal core value of giver's gain. This idea that if I help you, you'll help me, and we'll all do better as a result of it. I can't think of a better way to do business into the 21st century. This is Ivan Meisner, founder of BNI. Thanks for watching.
Really good to have Ivan around. I mean, just to spend a little time with Ivan and learn from what I define as a great mind is just such a privilege in the organization. And the beauty part, Mark, and I'm sure you agree, is all of that knowledge is now multiplied by 275,000 plus members around the world. And we're connected. We're connected in sharing that knowledge and sharing all of these experiences and those stories. And that just makes us so much stronger as entrepreneurs.
Force multiplier effect, absolutely. Global networking at its highest, and great to have Ivan with us today. As we welcome and introduce live our next speaker, and it's my esteemed pleasure to introduce a person that I've spent a bit of time with in meetings. And
so Mark, just hold on. We actually have a second video.
oh, right. I didn't realize we're doing Graham's video.
Yes,
Graham's video. Okay, right.
Yep,
I apologize.
No, that's fine. I just officially had that earlier this morning. So
okay, I wasn't sure. Sorry. Okay.
Absolutely. Sorry for that. So we're actually now going to hear from our CEO of BNI Global, Mr. Graham Weinmiller.
Hello, BNI Canada. This is Graham Weinmiller, Chairman and CEO of BNI. Thanks for allowing me to say a brief hello during BNI Canada's 26th National Conference. I know that you're going to have a great time, and I know that each of BNI's core values are going to be on display. And so I just want to say that the theme of accelerate is really appropriate and timely. And I want to encourage each of you to accelerate relationship building, accelerate your chapter's growth. And by doing so, you will accelerate your business's growth. We know that larger chapters produce a lot more referrals and a lot more closed business. How do we know? Because we study it closely, and we have over 10,200 chapters now around the world. And we see a very clear pattern. Larger chapters produce a lot more business for each and every member. So we encourage you to continue to reach out into your community to invite purpose-driven, exceptional business professionals who are committed to your success and committed to growing their own business. And if you do that, your chapter will grow and you'll see more referrals and close business for your own business. And, you know, we know as businesses grow, it helps families, it helps communities, it helps Canada, and it really helps the world. So want to say congratulations to each and every one of you for your progress, especially over the last year and a half, where you have taken whatever challenges come your way and you have turned that into innovation and opportunity. I especially want to thank all of the leaders throughout BNI Canada. They continue to be very passionate about helping BNI members achieve their goals and go way beyond. So thank you to all of the directors across BNI Canada. We congratulate you on your support for every member, and for all the members who are just going above and beyond for other members in their chapters. Likewise, thank you for your passion and your leadership for everything that BNI stands for. Now, I know you're going to have a chance to hear from Robert Skrob, a good friend and a great leader, someone who is really passionate about your success as well. So I encourage you to get your notebooks out, take all the notes that you can, just enjoy that presentation. I know I learned something new, at least one thing, every time I hear Robert Skrob speak. So I want to thank Kai also for his leadership and for allowing me to say hello. Have a terrific BNI Canada 26th National Conference. I look forward to having a chance to be with you together in person just as soon as we can. But in the meantime, have a great national conference, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Awesome. Thank you, Graham. And of course, Graham has introduced our next speaker. And that was wonderful to hear from Graham. Absolutely timely, Francois, to throw the video in. Great segue. So without further ado, Robert Skrob is a noted author, a personal friend, and got to meet him, and I really enjoyed his company. I've seen him speak on several occasions on numerous continents, Robert, and it's been awesome. I know that he's absolutely into his running. He's a Netflix extraordinaire expert, and he might reflect on some of that. It's an absolute pleasure to have Robert Skrob, the author of the Master Connector. Great to have you here. Robert Skrob, over to you.
Oh, bonjour, BNI Canada. Mark, it's such absolute honor to be here. Thank you so much for having me. And what an amazing opportunity for us to be together today, all across Canada and the world, to come together to celebrate business. And I am here today certainly to help BNI and to grow your chapter, but most importantly, because there are business people that are very much suffering right now, and that the pandemic and the great pause has left them behind, and they're trying to figure out, can they make this work? Are they going to be able to stay in business, or do they have to close it down? And what I understand, and that I hope you will by the end of this presentation, is how BNI is the single best resource to help that small business not only succeed, but thrive and grow and really turn things around. I've had the opportunity to work with small businesses for more than 20 years, start up many of them, several dozen businesses, sold a business and exited back in 2012, and now help small business around the world. I had pleasure and honor of working with Ivan Meisner and Graham Weimiller to write the book, The Connector Effect. And the team here at BNICanada really asked, kind of give us a prequel. What is the foundation that the connector effect is built upon that really helps you as a small business person grow and thrive in today's world? And the real first question I need to ask is, do you have a business that works for you, or do you work for your business? And I think this is an important thing to pause and think about. Are you hustling in order to try to keep your business going? Or is your business working for you to give you the lifestyle, to give you the time, to give you the money that you want to do with your life? And so many business people get trapped into a way of thinking that they have to work hard, that they've got to put in long hours, that they've got to hustle and sacrifice in order to grow their business. And absolutely, you won't be able to grow your business without sacrifice. However, sacrifice for the sake of sacrifice doesn't grow your business. And what we're going to talk about is the real key differences between what I call the hard way of growing a small business and the easy way. And we're going to reveal today that easy way and the single easiest, fastest way in order to make that happen. Would you like to have a business that works for you, that generates money, revenue, profit, that you can pay yourself, that gives you the lifestyle that you would like to enjoy? Well, that's what we're going to talk about here today. We're going to really focus on three key things: how to work less and make more money. 2, the 4 business hacks that increase profit without new expenses. And 3, the one thing that makes all this happen in your business, to really put it to the test so that you can implement this and generate these results and make it happen in the next year. This whole opportunity, the great pause, the going forward, has given us all the opportunity to reflect on what we've been doing up until now. And most importantly, it gives us an opportunity to change. There is a change, you see it all throughout the news, how employees are changing jobs, and how a lot of large employers that employees used to flock to, and these big tech companies that have thousands of employees, they're looking at 70% turnover because people are choosing a different path. And what bodes well for BNI, because there's going to be a lot of small business people out there, and it bodes well for you because you have permission to make a change. If you have a business that doesn't work for you, if you are working too hard and not getting enough results in your business and in your life, now is a great time to make a change so that your business can work for you instead of you having to work for it. And the good news is all it takes is a different way of thinking about your business. And that this sort of popular idea, this sort of meme out there that business is difficult, that you have to do things in a certain way, that there is a certain thing that happens in your business, I'll show you how to find the path that will help you grow a business that is more successful, more lucrative, and a lot more fun to run. So the first thing is, business owners face a lot of challenges. The wasting money on marketing that doesn't work. You're out on your own trying to figure things out. You got a lot of people out there that really resent business owners, and think that you simply charge too much and you don't pay your employees enough. Maybe you don't offer good enough benefits. there's too few inconsistent referrals. Your message gets lost amongst all the competitors and everybody you have to deal with. You're out on your own to try to develop yourself as your business grows, and you need more tools and resources. You have to deal with takers, people who are trying to take advantage of you, and it's easy for goals to slip and deadlines to pass without things getting done. And we want to talk about how you can get through those challenges and thrive going forward. There's two ways to run your business today, as I mentioned, the hard way and the easy way. And the real key to really operating your business the easy way is to understand the hierarchy of customer relationships. So many times we get trapped down in the red side where we're trying to be convenient or we're trying to be the cheapest. And what we're going to talk about today is how to move to where your customers are members and evangelists, where they can't help but tell their friends and family and their clients about you, and that they want to stay with you and they want to buy from you more often. So we're going to go through each of these in turn to really kind of explain what most business people think about business and how you can change what you're looking for, how you're targeting your customers so that you're bringing in more evangelist customers that have higher value, that refer their friends, that stay with you longer because they're loyal, and how that helps you run your business the easy way. Then we're going to talk about the 4 hacks to make that happen and the 1 key piece to get that all implemented. So we got quite a big roundup to get through, and absolutely an honor to go through this today. So the hierarchy of business relationships, we're going to start here at the first, which is convenient. And here there's a couple of sliders that I want to introduce you to that kind of help us think through this positioning of convenience within your business. So convenience is when you are at the right place at the right time, where you are trying to offer a product at the exact time that the customer needs it. And you can think of this as, a little convenience store, perhaps, where, the popular notion would be, that's you happen to be, thirsty and you need a snack. And so there is a convenience store where you can get that. And as you know, a convenience store is not going to be the cheapest place to buy something, so you can get a little bit of a higher price, but it's expensive for that store to be in the convenient place, right? Usually the rent and overhead is a lot more expensive. And also loyalty is very low, because the next time you need a snack and a drink and you're not near that store, you're not going to go to that store in order to get it. You're going to get it wherever it's convenient at the time. And a lot of industries get caught in a trap where the participants, the individual businesses, feel like they need to be convenient in order to win. That they need to be right at, when that customer has an emergency, or that customer needs plumbing work, or that customer needs something, they got to be there and be the first in order to get there. And that this convenient positioning is a trap, because even though it may feel good, like, for instance, I can't tell you how many salespeople I have had tell me, here is my cell phone number. Call me anytime, day or night, that you need anything. Well, this convenience positioning, by positioning yourself as the most convenient choice, you are automatically making your customers less loyal. Because the next time they find someone else convenient, they're going to go with that person instead of you. Positioning and looking for customers that want convenience is really the first trap in growing a business that is hard, because you're constantly replacing your customers with others, because the folks that you're bringing in, you're losing just as fast as you're getting them. So convenience is a tough position to be, as is price. Walmart, even just 10 years ago, looked like a superpower that could not be beat in the world. They were, growing locations around the world, and now all of a sudden it looks like Amazon and Alibaba and others are completely disrupting them around the world, and that they're struggling in order to continue their revenue growth. And that's the case whenever you are positioning yourself as the cheapest. When you are trying to beat the price competition, there is no award for second place. If you aren't the absolute cheapest price, then someone's going to buy the product from somewhere else. So as long as you are trying to be the cheapest, you are going to have the lowest loyalty. You're going to have the lowest price, which means the margins are going to be thin, and it's going to be difficult for you to operate your business, and your profits are always going to be low. Walmart makes profits because of their massive volume and, of course, of their distribution system. But as a small business, you don't have the economies of scale that a Walmart has. And so it's a challenging position. If you feel like you are pressured on price, then this is the absolute presentation that you need to see, because you have to let go of being the cheapest price. Being concerned about how low your price is a trap of doing business the hard way. And even if you're like, I know I talk to a lot of businesses and they're like, yeah, I kind of shop my competition. I decided to, I looked at what the people who are the lowest, and I looked at the people who are the highest price, and I decided to put myself in the middle. Well, if you're not the lowest price, then there's no benefit to being like the third lowest or the fourth lowest. You may as well be the highest and sell on a different basis than on price. And even as challenging as that may sound, that's actually the easier way, is to think about and be in a meeting and work with your team on deciding how you can be the most expensive provider of what you offer, rather than be the cheapest or land somewhere in the middle. So trying to be convenient or trying to be the cheapest priced is a trap that will keep your business keep your business struggling and make it harder for you to continue to grow. The third is transactional. And this is where you have a little bit more of a relationship with your customers. Think of it as more like a financial planner or a certified public accountant, a lawyer, where somebody is kind of doing a little bit of research, but they're trying to figure out, okay, who do I work with? And the nice thing about transactional is you have a little bit of more loyalty, a little bit higher price, and a little bit more profit. And all that is excellent. And there is a better way. If you are positioning yourself as a key provider, and you say, well, I'm not the cheapest, but I'm a professional, so I don't do those sorts of things, it could very well be that you're actually positioning yourself as more of a transactional relationship. And so let's look beyond that for an easy way to do business. The fourth opportunity is a habit. And so now we're starting to be able to increase loyalty, increase price, and also grow your profits. The key with habit, it's kind of like that restaurant that you frequent with your spouse. It seems like, whenever maybe it's, the same day of the week, every week you frequent a particular place, or you go and you visit a particular retailer, or you have a hobby and so you visit a store that offers those products that you enjoy in your hobby. Whatever sort of habit place where, if you can create a habit amongst your customers where they come back on an ongoing basis, maybe every week or a couple of times a week, that's now starting to become a lot easier way of operating your business. And that when so what it takes it takes a little bit of forethought in order to make sure that you are creating a habit amongst your customers. One of the examples that is classic that when I kind of first learned this concept more than 20 years ago was from a dry cleaner. And what the dry cleaner did is they had a coupon that brought a new customer in. And when that brand new customer that had never, they would look and get the names of all their customers. And so they knew if somebody was the newest, new to their dry cleaner, and they would, bring that customer in with a coupon. Then, of course, that customer would drop off their laundry, leave, come back to pick up their laundry, and they would give that new customer a laundry bag and another set of coupons in order to bring that customer back a third time. And now, of course, they had to come back a fourth time in order to pick up their clothes. And now they were creating a habit. And that by having a bounce back offer in that first transaction that brought the customer back for that second transaction was the beginning of creating a habit. So one of the key strategies for turning your business from being the cheapest or being the most convenient or even being transactional into one that is habit forming is to really focus on getting your new customers to come back a second time. And then getting the customers that come back to you, maybe the customers that come monthly, what kind of offer can you give them that would get them to come fortnightly or weekly? And then if the customers that you have that are coming weekly, what kind of offer can you give them to bringing them in twice a week? Those sorts of strategies require you to understand the frequency, understand who your customers are, and to be able to give them offers that bring them back to your business more often than they do out on their own. And those little strategies are how you do business the easy way. Because the competitors that you have that are just trying to be the cheapest, or they're trying to make themselves the most convenient, they're not doing this. They don't have the margins to do this. They can't offer this level of service. They're struggling. They're just like on a treadmill, trying to keep the thing going as fast as possible. They're working for their business instead of their business working for them. And with a little bit of foresight, a little bit of strategy, and some nice margins, you can flip the tables, and that you can be in the position where you are in the relationship business and that you understand what your customers need. And instead of having them come once and then you never see them again, they come once. And it's kind of like Mark was talking about in the spiderweb story earlier when he picked Spider-Man over Captain America, how the spiderweb, how you touch it once and it goes. You want to think of your business as a spiderweb. And once a customer comes in to your web, they don't get out. And because maybe you're collecting their name and information because of your loyalty program, or maybe your loyalty program is in your phone and you are collecting their names and phone numbers so that you can keep up with them and text them, or you've got some way of keeping up with who your customers are and a process for bringing them back. Habit forming can make a massive difference in how easy your business is to operate. So then the next level of hierarchy of customer relationships is a member. When this is one of the great things that Costco and Sam's Club have discovered, is that once somebody joins using a membership, they are very unlikely to go some other store and buy. I know I'm a member of Costco, and when it comes time to buying a television or buying a computer, it's really hard for me to drive past Costco to go to Best Buy. And in fact, I usually don't make it. I always want to check the Costco just to make sure that the price is cheaper there, or before I go buy anywhere else. They always have a chance. And when you create a membership within your business where your customers become members and that they are joining a community within your business, your loyalty goes a lot higher. Your prices can be a lot higher. Now you're looking at the country club sort of model where, here in this photo, it's tennis. So maybe there's a tennis club where somebody pays in order to then pay to play tennis. And then also your profits are quite a bit higher than any other business model. It is much more profitable to think, how can we sell memberships? How can we offer some sort of program where our customers actually buy in to become a customer and that stay with us, than it is to try to be having a meeting where you're figuring out how to be selling at a cheaper price. Think in terms of how you can turn the table so that you have much higher loyalty and that you are growing customers that are going to come with you and buy with you more frequently. And then finally, the sixth level of the hierarchy is the evangelist. And this is the highest level of loyalty, the highest priced, and the higher profits. And the good news is that when you are the higher priced provider of whatever you provide, now all of a sudden you have greater margins to deliver a better experience. You have higher margins that allow you to do better communications, to get your customers back, and business is a lot more fun and a lot more lucrative. You do this, of course, building an evangelist customer is somebody who is so excited about what you offer that they just can't seem to buy enough of it. They want to do business with you. They're exclusive, and they can't shut up about you. They just go over and tell all their friends and family, and there's nothing you can do about it because they love you so much. You probably already have some of these customers in your business. And what we want to talk about today is how to get more of them on purpose than we're getting by mistake. First is recognizing that they exist. And second is understanding that there is a process that we can put in place that creates more of them on purpose than is happening when we are just leaving it by chance. So what we're going to do is focus on these 4 hacks that help you create more evangelist customers and make business easier and more fun. And so the whole point of all these hacks is to generate more evangelist customers and to make your business more profitable and help you be able to put, raise your prices and make your business easier to operate. The first one is relationship versus a series of one-night stands. How many businesses do you know that are just like, one-night stands where, the customer comes in, buys once, and maybe never comes back? You've probably been to thousands of stores, thousands of restaurants, and that have never in your life gone back to that place. And the experience may have been wonderful, but the business owner didn't put anything in place that would help them communicate with you in order to bring you back to their business. And there's really only 3 ways to increase the profit in your business. Number 1 is to get more new customers. Number 2 is to get your customers to buy more from you, so increasing the transaction size of each purchase. And then number 3 is to get your customers to buy from you more often. Now, of those 3 things, getting new customers is the most expensive, it is the hardest, and takes the longest, most frustrating, and has the most competition. And yet this is what most business people focus on. And they fret and worry and spend so much time trying to get new customers when instead it could be far more lucrative, far more rewarding to think about how can we get our customers to spend more, and 3, how can we get our customers to come back more often. There are people in Zoom meetings all around the world focused on how can we get new customers? How can we sell our products at lower prices? And what I want to really challenge you is to go back to your team, go back to your business, and instead think about how can we get our customers to buy more in each transaction? How can we get our customers to come back more often? So buying more from each transaction, certainly price is the fastest way to increase that transaction size. Also, packaging. If you are currently having an a la carte type of business, and this is really one of the key ways that even the subscription business has grown so much, is certainly the subscription element is an important piece of it, but because they've taken products and services and put them together in a package that people buy together, that has drastically increased the revenue that they're able to generate. So in your business, what do customers ordinarily buy? Is there a premium option that you could offer with what you normally offer? And then you can also give customers a premium version. And I think it's important that when you are giving a price, whether it's even plumbing services or accounting services or legal services, or you're offering to paint a room or a home, that when you are giving an estimate, most people just give one number. Here it is. This is what you've asked for. This is what my price is. Why not instead give choices? Say, hey, this is our price for what you've asked for. And if you would like another choice, here is option B and maybe even an option C, where you package together other prices, other products and services, maybe offering to paint rooms that they didn't know that they wanted to paint, maybe offering to paint the exterior when they thought they only wanted the interior. For plumbing, maybe there is a good, better, best option that you could offer. But by offering those packages, and it's one challenge to you to move beyond the normal business mentality of, oh, customer asks for X, I give them a price for X, and I'm going to try to make my price cheap, or I'm going to be middle of the road. Well, if you want to offer a middle of the road price, then so be it. But let's also offer a premium option where that they can choose. And you'll be amazed at a very significant percentage of customers that will choose to buy the premium package that you offer versus the lower package. And what has that done? But increased your transaction size, enabled you to make profit that you would have taken you 3 customers you'd had to get 3 new customers in order to make the profit you just made on 1. And what does that do? Make business easier and more fun and more lucrative. And then the third way to increase the profit in your business is to get your customers to buy from you more frequently. Any sort of, this is done in retail through loyalty programs. And what loyalty programs are more than anything is kind of an excuse to get an email address or a mailing address where you can keep in contact with your customers in order to continue offering them other products and services. And also so that you can monitor transactions, and so that you know how often your customers are coming back to you. If you're not in retail but in professional services, this is far easier. But how many of you have an accountant that you only hear from once a year or once a month? Or they offer a very limited range of services and they haven't offered to do anything else for you in 5 years since you saw them last. And how if there was other tax audits, or there were other things that they could do for you that could maybe reduce your taxes or make your business more successful, that you might be open to buying that. Thinking of ways that you can get your customers to buy from you more frequently is a key driver to make your business easier to operate. Again, there's 2 ways to run your business, the hard way and the easy way. And the hard way, you focus on getting a customer to make a transaction. And the easy way is you get a transaction in order to create a customer. And you're looking to get that transaction so that you can build that relationship for the first time and that you can use that relationship over and over again so that you're not a series of one-night stands, but instead you're focused on a relationship. And that customer that you're working with today isn't simply a transaction to you. It is a new opportunity to build a long-term relationship. Completely changes your business and way of moving through the world. Number two is to understand what you really deliver. This is really to BNI. This is probably, if you've done weekly presentations, something that we certainly teach within the weekly presentation template. And I think it's when I saw it working with BNI for the first time, 3 years ago, I thought it was absolutely brilliant that BNI teaches our members that people don't buy products. They don't buy services. They buy solutions to problems. They have some sort of challenge or opportunity or something in their life that they want changed. And that here in this image, you've got a woman whose car is broken. And then on the other side, she's driving off happy because her car is repaired. And there is this key before and after, not only in the actual repair, who knows, maybe her tire is broken in one and then in the other, the tire is repaired and she's able to drive and take the kids to school. And most tire people focus on the tire and what they're selling. But really what you are delivering as a tire repair isn't the cheapest repair, God, heaven forbid. It is actually the solution to their problem, which is they got to get their kids to school. And how valuable is it to have an automobile that is in working order that can get that will dependably get their children to the school? That is much more valuable than a patch inside a tire. And when you are offering the repair and the outcome of the repair, and that's what you are selling within your weekly presentations, that's what you talk about, and then on your website, and then in your sales presentations, and in all the marketing that you do, you are talking about problem solved and transformations that you're delivering rather than the products that you sell. You are going to win the sale over and above, because let the customers talk about delivering the cheapest price. You instead talk about the emotional impact of having the value of what you deliver. Customers are making a choice. They can stay where they are and have the old them, or they can move forward and into a new life. And what you are offering is how they can move forward. The hard way of doing business is to sell products and services. Stop talking about what you deliver. Stop talking about your products. And please stop talking about what the price is. And instead, sell your customers on the outcome that the customer really wants and the outcome that they're looking for. And talk about that. And talk about how long it's going to take for them to get there. And that is going to enable you to get customers that others don't have. They're going to love you and go right to evangelist, because finally they found somebody that understands them and talks to them about what they want rather than what you're trying to sell. Now, number three, why and how to sell luxury services. We want, as much as possible, to be in the luxury sales business rather than trying to be the cheapest price, rather than selling products. When you can be in the luxury business, luxury products have very little price pressure. People are not going and saying, "Oh, is that good? Can I get that Gucci bag half off?" The Louis Vuitton bag or what have you. They buy it. And the price and the fact that it's expensive is actually part of the story that they tell themselves about the product. And it's actually a benefit that it's expensive versus something that might be a detriment. I've had the honor of working with Harley-Davidson dealers in Florida since 2003. And I put on training for their salespeople, their general managers, even their parts and service writers, as well as we do cooperative marketing for the dealerships. And the thing about Harley-Davidson is they're the premium provider. Their motorcycles are, a third to 25% more expensive than any other motorcycle you can get. And yet Harley-Davidson sells more than 50% of the motorcycles in their category, both within, certainly within Florida. We're actually ahead of that, but Florida, United States, and worldwide, Harley-Davidson sells more than 50% of the motorcycles in their category. I don't know another premium brand that has more than 50% of the market share. So it'd be kind of like Neiman Marcus selling more clothes than Walmart, Target, Amazon, and everybody else combined. Harley-Davidson has an amazing position because they sell more and they sell at premium prices. And why? What is different about a Harley-Davidson versus, say, a Honda? Are there Harley-Davidson only lanes? Does a Harley-Davidson get you to your destination faster? No. It's all about how that motorcycle makes you feel when you ride it. And in their advertising, they talk about how it feels to ride a Harley-Davidson. Whereas Honda, they talk about the engineering that went into creating the Honda, or the Honda race team and how that gave them some insight into building the motorcycle that they're creating for you. Or they might talk about the parts or the labor, or heaven forbid, they might even talk about the price of the thing. But they're talking about their product rather than the outcome, which is feeling awesome when you ride it. And that's what Harley-Davidson focuses on. And so in your products, when you sell, are you talking about the feeling that your product offers, or are you talking about the product itself? From what I'm told, you challenge me on this, I don't know, but my wife tells me that that Louis Vuitton bags make you awesome. awesome. I don't know. You tell me if you think that's true. Thank you. So why? Because they're more expensive, and that so it's that emotional outcome of the bag versus the actual functional, right? Because as far as I can tell, it's no different than, say, a Coach, except for the fact it's 3 times more expensive. And why? Is because it's expensive, it does have an emotional impact that's bigger than the less expensive ones. There was a Harvard University professor who in the 1980s talked about how people don't buy 5mm drill bits because they want 5mm drill bits. They buy a 5mm drill bit because they want a 5mm hole. And it was really insightful because you can talk all about the engineering or the metal of your drill bit, and it doesn't matter because they really don't care as long as it will create the hole. And this is the same thing about our products and services. You can talk all you want about how great your products are, or even how good your service is. But really the customer just wants to know is, can I get the result? Will this create the hole that I'm looking for? And it was interesting, back in 2019 in his book, This Is Marketing, Seth Godin actually took this story a little bit further. And he said, you know what? Customers don't want a 4mm hole. In fact, what they really want is a shelving unit on their wall. And they don't really want a shelf on their wall as much as they want their bedroom picked up, and they don't want things lying around on the floor. And they like the feeling that they get when they see the shelf and they see that they see things on the shelf and they see that there's nothing on the floor, and that gives them a satisfied feeling. And they don't even really want that as much as they want their spouse to be proud of them for putting up the shelving unit when they were asked the first time. Or better yet, even not even having to be asked, just putting it up before. They want that nice feeling that they've done it themselves. And what is the outcome? What is the feeling of what you offer? And how can you sell that versus your products? So many people try to sit in rooms, try to figure out how to sell products at cheaper prices. The easy way to do business is to think deeply about how to sell at higher prices by giving consumers a better experience. The fourth hack that we're going to talk about today is demonstrate leadership in your business, community, and your life. The real key here is that so many times in our business, we try to teach our customers. We want to tell them something about how things work. We want to tell them about how to use the product. And we position ourselves as a teacher and that we're trying to provide instructions. And instead, what I want to really have you think about is instead being a leader, where you become an advocate for your customer. Because, you know, it's not, and I'm not saying this is the way it should be, but in Canada, as in the United States, who gets paid more, teachers or leaders? And fortunately, it's leaders, right? So, you know, I'm certainly not, I don't want to disparage the value that teachers have in our society. They're doing God's work for sure. However, our culture rewards leaders by giving them higher salaries and more accolades than we do our teachers. And so in your own business, with your customers, do you want to position yourself as a teacher or as a leader? A leader is an advocate for your customer. A leader is somebody who fights to get your customers a great deal. A leader is somebody who finds resources and solves problems, even if it's not within your business to do so, because you are an advocate and you want the very best for your customers in order to create fabulous outcomes for them. You are positioning yourself instead of being a teacher, instead of just being somebody who sells stuff to people, you are a leader and an advocate. Instead, most business owners focus on themselves and their business, and they think about everything from their perspective. The easy way is to attract employees, customers, and fans by becoming a leader within your community, an advocate for your customer, and somebody who is about doing things that are creating a positive impact. And there's no better way to do that than to become a BNI Master Connector. As a BNI Master Connector, you immediately, when you join your chapter, that gives you a tremendous referral network that you're able to solve problems for the people you meet. Your best customers, your friends, your family, strangers that you meet, you're able to refer them to somebody that's able to solve their problem, whether it's something that you offer or not. Becoming a master connector in your community is one of the key ways to make yourself more valuable and to build a stronger relationship within your community with your key customers. So these are the key ways of changing your relationship and doing business the easy way. And that is to focus on getting a transaction, to create a customer, and then work with that customer to build a relationship, to sell the outcome the customer wants instead of your stuff, to think deeply how to sell at higher prices by giving customers a better experience, focus on the outcome, and then the fourth one is actually be a leader in your community, and that's all by becoming a BNI Master Connector. It's an absolute honor to be here today in Canada. Can't wait till we can be all in person. And I hope that this helps you grow your business and grow your chapter. Thank you so much. It's an absolute joy to be here.
Amazing,
Thank you so
amazing,
much.
amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Thank you, Robert. I mean, there's so much great stuff. I hope all of our participants on this conference are taking notes. I mean,
Incredible. It was incredible, Francois, wasn't it? I mean, I've
totally.
never seen anything like the hierarchy of customer relationships. Robert, that's just genius. You know, the convenience and cheapest trap, the red, blue, and green indicators, the sliding scale from lowest to highest, the 4 hacks, relationship versus one night stand, bounce back offers. To our participants on the call today, Robert, thank you. I thought Retention Point was amazing. In that presentation, I saw you live, and now I'm getting connector effect and seeing the way that you're thinking and bringing at this higher level opportunities to our organization. Thank you so much for being live. Totally makes such a difference. And from all of us, I know Moji and all of us, we're totally stoked that you could be here. Really amazing to have you. Francois, what are your takeaways?
I mean, I mean, obviously I was completely impressed with the hierarchy until he came up with the 4 hacks. So, and then I'm like, okay, so what's my biggest takeaway? I mean, there's some pieces in there that, you know, I might have heard before in some angles, but the way that it's presented just made me see it in completely different way. And I mean, this great learning pieces that I'm taking from this. Thank you so much once again.
Absolutely.
So let's have some show.
Thank you.
Go on, Rob. Go on, Robert.
Yeah, and I think that way of thinking together with BNI helps make your business so much easier to run and more lucrative, because now you're in the relationship business. When you get a referral, you build the relationship, you're selling the outcome, you are keeping that customer longer, which makes the person who referred them to you happy, because they're not only satisfied, that new person they referred is actually now a new evangelist of you. So you've made this customer happy and the referrer happy and yourself happy, because you're focused on building relationships rather than trying to be the cheapest price or the most convenient. So I think it's a change of perspective that makes BNI and being in business with BNI so much more lucrative and fun.
Wonderful.
Absolutely. Everything
yes,
that you've said, you can actually, how can I say, transpose into the way you network in regards to the price, the referrals, the relationship, the leadership. It all applies fully to every single person in BNI across the world.
absolutely. Absolutely. And so if you want to follow Robert, please check out him on Facebook. You can see his the connector effect, some of his book details. He's pointing to it there. It's an absolute pleasure. Yes, to all the people we are recording. Can we have some love in the chat to thank Robert Skrob? He's been with us for 3 years. He's been absolutely brilliant. And to have him live, thank you, Kai Bjorn, for securing that. And it's just an absolute pleasure. Rob was in here early listening. He's a great lover of BNI, and we can't thank you enough. Really, really amazing presentation. And yeah, I want to have that Harley Davidson business. 50% of your clients. Are you kidding? Absolutely. I want that. Fantastic.
And just a quick note, if ever you get to meet Robert somewhere around the world, and you want to make some good points, you go and get some Partagas number 10 cigars, and he will sit down with you probably for a few minutes and enjoy it with you.
And Francois, bring your running shoes. If you want to have a unique experience, bring your running shoes.
And we can run and smoke cigars at the same time.
Excellent.
So without further ado, what a wonderful way to start off our day. Absolutely brilliant.